Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel. My name is Mike. I'm continuing my Week 8 previews and analysis. This video is for the game between the New Orleans Saints and the Buffalo Bills. This game will be played in New Orleans. New Orleans coming off a bye at 5-1. Buffalo coming in with a record of 3-4 after a big win, a division win on the road in Miami. And look, if I told you a team had 12 interceptions, 23 sacks, and rushed the ball for 140 yards a game, you would probably come to the assumption that that team had to be over 500 early in the season. Well, those are some of the stats, some of the key stats for the Buffalo Bills. And it just goes to show you that when the quarterback position is in a state of flux, it can definitely impact the team. And Thad Lewis, I don't think, is doing a bad job. But when you consider all these other things that this team has going for them, again, in terms of 12 interceptions, 23 sacks, and 140 rushing yards a game, you have a team that's lost some close games, that's been very competitive in a lot of games. And when you do those things well, you're always going to be in a lot of games. But with that said, this particular week they're up against a stiff challenge because New Orleans at home coming off of a bye, as far as the points they're going to put on the board, I think are going to be prolific. And unless, again, Buffalo can come out and run the ball well and get after Drew Brees, this game could get out of hand early. I think the big part of this game for the Bills will be the first about quarter and a half of this game. With the crowd all revved up off a bye, are they able to stem the tide and keep the game within a field goal or touchdown? Or do they allow New Orleans to get, a nice special teams play, a good play on defense to flip field position? Or do they allow this offense to go crazy and are they down 14 points before they blink? If that's the case, I think this is going to spiral out of control, sort of like when Miami went there with Tannehill earlier in the season. But look, the longer this game stays closer, I like the Bills' ability to keep it close for all the reasons I mentioned. But make no mistake about it, this New Orleans team also has 20 sacks in 6 games as well. So how are they able to get after Thad Lewis? You are able to run the ball on New Orleans if you're able to establish it, but how long can they stick with it, if the Saints are racking up points? That's really the question here in this game. We'll monitor the status of, C.J. Spiller and Fred Jackson. They've been banged up, but they've still been able to produce at a pretty high level. Of course, Mario Williams having a good second season here for the Bills. That Mike Pettin defense is going to try to attack Drew Brees and not really sit back. And when you get into a situation like that, it's either feast or famine. And I expect that to be this kind of game for the Bills. So this is a hard game to predict because I could see it being a total blowout or I could see it being close. Again, if the Bills are able to rush the passer and run the ball, as their stats have indicated they have up till this point. I have to think, though, that them coming off this bye with 2 weeks to prepare for the Bills, Sean Payton usually comes out with several wrinkles, either out of a bye or with a lot of time to prepare. I expect that to be the case in this one. Remember, New Orleans has a bad taste in their mouth after how they lost that game in New England on the last play of the game. At home, I really like New Orleans in this one, but don't sleep on the Bills heading forward in the season. Those stats are pretty key indicators that this team's going to be in a lot of games. I just think this week they'll be a little bit overwhelmed because the game is at New Orleans. So I like New Orleans minus 12.5. At home against the Bills. Let me know what you guys think of this game. Hit me up in the YouTube comments. Hit me up on Twitter at SNewsAnalysis. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, guys. I preview and recap every game every week right here on my YouTube channel. And I'm always talking the news of the day in the NFL. So be sure to subscribe. Thanks again for listening, and have a great night.